गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधं हरि यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनतां हरि यमुनतीरावनतां हरि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधं हरि जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधं हरि यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनतां हरि यमुनतीरावनतां हरि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundara Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Satta Shishimachila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Satta Shishimachila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Guru Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Sirup Si Sanatan Bhatta Raghunathi Jeev Gopala Bhatta Rasa Raghunath Sadhu Goswami Prabhu ki. Prem se ko Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivajari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopa Gopi Gopinacham Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana ki. Sri Vrindavan Dham ki, Sri Mathura Dham ki, Sri Mayapur Dham ki, Sri Jagannathpuri Dham ki. Tulsi Maharani Bhakti Devi ki, Ganga Yamuna Devi ki, Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki, Sri Sri Gaunitai ki, Sri Sri Krishna Balaram ki, Sri Sri Radha Shama Sundar ki, Go Premanande Hari Hari Bol, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Oh, this is. Thank you. So, reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, second chapter, text number 42 and 43. Yam imāṁ puṣpitāṁ vācam pravadanty avipaścitaḥ veda-vāda-ratāḥ pārtha nānyad astīti vādinaḥ kāma-ātmānaḥ svarga-parā janma-karma-phala-pradām kriyā-viśeṣa-bahulāṁ bhogaiśvarya-gatiṁ prati yam imāṁ puṣpitāṁ vācam pravadanty avipaścitaḥ veda-vāda-ratāḥ pārtha nānyad astīti vādinaḥ kāma-ātmānaḥ svarga-parā janma-karma-phala-pradām kriyā-viśeṣa-bahulāṁ bhogaiśvarya-gatiṁ prati yam imāṁ puṣpitāṁ vācam pravadanty avipaścitaḥ veda-vāda-ratāḥ pārtha nānyad astīti vādinaḥ kāma-ātmānaḥ svarga-parā janma-karma-phala-pradām kriyā-viśeṣa-bahulāṁ bhogaiśvarya-gatiṁ prati yam imāṁ puṣpitāṁ vācam pravadanty-avipaścitaḥ veda-vāda-ratāḥ pārtha nānyad astīti vādinaḥ kāma-ātmānaḥ svarga-parā janma-karma-phala-pradām kriyā-viśeṣa-bahulāṁ bhogaiśvarya-gatiṁ prati. Ladies, yam imāṁ, all these, puṣpitāṁ, flowery, vācam, words, pravadanti, say, avipaścitaḥ, man with a poor fund of knowledge, veda-vāda-ratāḥ, supposed followers of the Veda, pārtha, O son of Pritha, na, never, nānyad, anything else, astīti, there is, iti, thus, vādinaḥ, the advocates, kāmātmānaḥ, desire of sense gratification, svarga-parā, aiming to achieve heavenly planets, janma-karma-phala-pradām, resulting in good birth and other fruitive reactions, kriyā-viśeṣa, pompous ceremonies, bahulāṁ, various, bhoga, sense enjoyment, aishvarya, and opulence, gatiṁ, progress, prati, towards, Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth, being desirous of sense gratification and open life. They say that there is nothing more than this. Purport. People in general are not very intelligent, and due to their ignorance they are most attached to the fruitive activities recommended in the karma-kanda portions of the Vedas. They do not want anything more than sense gratificatory proposals for enjoying life in heaven, where wine and women are available and material opulence is very common. In the Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to the heavenly planets, especially Jyotishtoma sacrifices. In fact, it is stated that anyone desiring elevation to heavenly planets must perform these sacrifices. And men with a poor fund of knowledge think that this is what the whole purpose of Vedic wisdom. And men with a poor fund of knowledge think that this is the whole purpose of Vedic wisdom. It is very difficult for such inexperienced persons to be situated in the determined action of Krishna consciousness, as fools are attached to the flowers of poisonous trees without knowing the results of such attractions. Unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof. In the Karma-kanda section of the Vedas it is said, apama somam amrita abhuma and akshayam havai chaturmasya yajinaha sukritam bhavati. In other words, those who perform the 4-month penances become eligible to drink the somaras beverages to become immortal and happy forever. Even on this earth, some are very eager to have somaras to become strong and fit to enjoy sense gratification. Such persons have no faith in liberation from material bondage, and they are very much attached to the pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifices. They are generally sensual, and they do not want anything other than the heavenly pleasures of life. It is understood that there are gardens called Nandana-kanana, in which there is good opportunity for association with angelic, beautiful women and having a profuse supply of somaras wine. Such bodily happiness is certainly sensual. Therefore, there are those who are purely attached to such material temporary happiness as lords in the material world. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakasodanmilitam Yenam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yotapada-kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakandvidamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopikakanta Radhakanta Namastade Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sade Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nihityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here in these verses, Krishna is explaining to Arjuna about persons who are attached to the Vedic literatures. So here it is explained. Prabhupada is translating men of small knowledge. So men with a poor fund of knowledge, those who are not so intelligent. So they are attached to what is mentioned in the Vedic literatures, specifically the part of the Vedic literatures which describe about elevation to the higher planets, the heavenly planets, where there's plenty of sense gratification. So they think that sense gratification, that is the goal of life, to always be engaged in sense gratification. And there in the heavenly planet, actually, they live longer time than in this world, in this planet. And in the heavenly planet, there's no old age. So they can live long time and they remain beautiful, and they have the opportunity for sense enjoyment. So therefore, persons are interested to go there. We see even in this material world, the majority of people, they are interested in living happy in this world, engaged in sense gratification. But here in this material world, old age is there. And then in old age, so it is more difficult to enjoy the senses. One cannot eat too much, one cannot see nicely, not hearing nicely. So there's some frustration there in one's sense enjoyment due to old age. Whereas in the heavenly planets, this old age is not there, which is an obstacle to sense gratification. So, but the human form of life is actually meant for self-realization, atma-sakshakar. Human form of life is meant for making advancement in spiritual life. We should understand that we are not this body and that we are spirit soul, and that we have an eternal relationship with Krishna. And jivera sopoi krishnera nityadas. So we are the eternal servants of Krishna. Krishna das means we are the servant of Krishna, means we have to serve Krishna. We have to give pleasure to Krishna's senses. Krishnendriya priti. We should not act for our own sense gratification, independent of Krishna. So Krishna has to be in the center. Krishna has to be satisfied. And then when Krishna is satisfied, then we'll be satisfied also. Of course, Krishna is Atmaram, Aptakam. He's self-satisfied. He's the source of all transcendental happiness. He's the source of all opulence. He's most famous, most strong, most beautiful. So therefore, Krishna is not dependent on us, on the condition, especially the conditioned soul. What we can offer to Krishna? We are so insignificant. But the Krishna, although fully self-satisfied, he's reciprocating with the living entities who are serving him, who want to serve him. Just like a father is there, a family man, so his family is there, the wife is there, the children are there. So when especially the children are trying to please the father, then the father becomes happy. So Krishna is the Supreme Father. And so when the living entities are serving Krishna, then Krishna becomes satisfied, although fully independent and self-satisfied. So, and actually the purpose of the Vedas is to understand this fact. Krishna himself is explaining later on, of course, especially in the 15th chapter, Sarvasya chaham ridi svasya chaham ridi sanivisto matasmite janma-karma-phala-pradām cha vidāśta sarvera ameva vedyo vedanta krit veda-vāda-ratāḥ chaham. So Krishna is there, actually in the spiritual realm, engaged in wonderful transcendental pastimes with his associates. So at the same time, he's situated in everyone's heart and is guiding or trying to help the conditioned souls to advance in spiritual life. And so Krishna is giving knowledge how to advance. And by Krishna's mercy we can remember him. And if we are not surrendered to him, then forgetfulness will be there. We are not able to see. We are not able to understand Krishna. We are not able to remember Krishna and serve Krishna. So, but if you are trying, following the spiritual master, the representative of the Lord, the scriptures, Bhagavad-gītā, if you try to follow and understand, then Krishna, who is within our heart, then he will help us. And so the Vedic literatures are there to help us. So the purpose of studying the scriptures is to understand Krishna. The purpose of the scriptures is there to help us following this path of spiritual life, the path of devotion towards the Lord. So it is explaining about the goal, it is helping us to reach the goal by showing the process by which we can attain the goal. So in the beginning, if one is anxious to become free from the entanglement of this material world, if one is endeavoring to make advancement in spiritual life, and of course especially one is praying to the Supreme Lord, then there will be a reciprocation. That Krishna will help. So, different persons are there, as explained here also in the verse and in the purport also. So many persons are there who may be studying the scriptures. And many persons are there who try to advance in spiritual life. And actually in the Vedic literatures then, anyone who is taking shelter of the Vedic literatures and ultimately then taking shelter of the Lord, so he is helped. But so, because not everyone is immediately able to engage in pure devotional service, so therefore in the Vedic literatures, so different sacrifices are mentioned also, by which one may be elevated to the heavenly planets. But it is clearly understood that this is not the goal. So therefore one actually has to be under the shelter of the representative of the Lord, who will help one clearly understand the purpose of the Vedic literatures, the goal, the essence of the Vedic literatures. Otherwise one may be bewildered by the different injunctions in the Vedic literatures, as explained here in Karma Kanda. So there it is explained that we should perform some activity, and then also it is explained that what we may gain by performing a certain activity. So specifically here also Vedic sacrifices are mentioned. Prabhupada is writing Jyotishtoma sacrifice. And by doing this sacrifice, then one can be elevated to the higher planetary system where the demigods are living, staying. And so therefore, for those who are not so intelligent, so that seems to be very appealing. As explained, that one may then enjoy in the heavenly planets, and one will be able to live a longer time than in this world. Specifically here, Prabhupada is mentioning, and so that is mentioned in the scriptures, that by performing Chaturmas, Vrat, then one becomes eligible to drink a certain beverage known as somaras, by which one becomes almost immortal and one is always happy. Of course, in this material world one cannot be immortal. Even the demigods who live for a long time, even Lord Brahma, who lives a very long time. But everyone will have to give up this body in this world. But it seems to me almost like immortal because it is a very long lifespan. And so this somaras, of course, is very tasty. And it is a kind of almost bewildering. So one becomes strong physically, sensually, and then one may be able to enjoy sense purification. But as it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita itself or in the Vedic literatures also, that so this bodily pleasure, that is also temporary. And ultimately, so if one is trying to enjoy in this material world, so then there will be also some distress. And it is mentioned specifically that in the mode of passion, so the beginning it seems to be very pleasurable, but then it is also distressful. But if one is situated in the mode of goodness, then one will be able to be more happy. But ultimately we have to transcend the modes of material nature, the mode of goodness also. And one has to come to the spiritual platform. And one has to act for the pleasure of Krishna. And then one can get transcendental pleasure, spiritual pleasure. And that is actually much greater than any pleasure of this material world, the spiritual pleasure. And that is true pleasure, that is a real pleasure. If we give satisfaction to Krishna, Krishna's senses, then automatically one is also satisfied. And if we are engaged in devotional life, devotional service, then one becomes free from the cycle of birth and death. And then, so then there is no misery as in this world. Not only of birth and death, but old age and disease. In the spiritual world, one is eternally existing, and there is no old age, there is no disease, and there is no death. And so in the spiritual world, of course different planets are there in the spiritual world. Vaikuntha, where Lakshmi Narayan or Lakshmi and Vishnu are situated. And then the abode of Lord Ram, the abode of Krishna and Dwarka, but the highest abode is Golok Vrindavan, where Krishna and the Brijabasis are residing. Maria Yashoda, Nanda Baba, Krishna's friend, Sudam, Sridam, Krishna's most beloved, the gopis are residing. Srimati Radharani, the Sakhis, Lalita Vishaka, and they are constantly engaged in the transcendental loving service with Krishna. They are giving pleasure to Krishna, always trying to to be with Krishna, to serve Krishna, and always trying to remember Krishna. And so Krishna is reciprocating with all the Brijabasis in a very wonderful way. So by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have the opportunity to advance towards the highest rank, that is Golok Vrindavan. And the process is not so difficult. One simply has to chant the holy names, the mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then one has to engage in some devotional activities. So engaging the senses in the service of the Lord by worshipping the deities specifically. So that is most practical, serving the deities. Because in conditioned state one cannot see Krishna, one cannot remember Krishna. Therefore, the Lord is appearing in the Archa Vigraha, Archa Avatar. And we can see Krishna, we can serve Krishna. And then, by doing that, then we can become attached to Krishna. And then the loving relationship is there with Krishna. So practical experience is there. And then the literatures are there, the Vedic literatures, also describing about Krishna's pastimes, like Padma Purana. Or the Puranaras there also explaining about the wonderful pastimes of Krishna. And then also, of course, the essence of the Vedic literatures, the cream of the Vedic literatures. There we have beautiful description of Krishna's pastimes. Nigama-kalpa taror galitam palam sukhamugadam rita divasambatam veda-vāda-ratāḥ rasamarayam muhuro rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. And the devotees who are purified in consciousness, bhavuk or rasik Vaishnav. So rasik means those who are established in their relationship with Krishna. And the ras, a servant, friend or parental affection, they can fully relish the Srimad Bhagavatam because they are properly situated. And bhavuk, those who are advanced in spiritual understanding also, but they not be yet fully realized, but they have the proper understanding and they have developed the loving sentiments towards Krishna beyond this material body, transcendental sentiments, and then there's a transcendental loving exchange. So they can relish hearing the Bhagavatam, hearing the wonderful pastimes of Krishna. So even though one is chanting the holy names and one is serving the deities, one has to hear about Krishna. And then while serving we can remember Krishna and his wonderful pastimes. And then while chanting also we can then see Krishna. When we see the deity form, we serve the deity form. And then we can hear about Krishna, and then while chanting, it may become one. Chanting the mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So then we may remember Krishna also. We may remember what we have heard. And then we can become absorbed. And then we can become free from the material nature, from the bodily conception. So which is the goal? To realize our spiritual, transcendental nature, our transcendental form, our relationship with Krishna. So by constant practice, endeavor, and by becoming detached from this material world, then ultimately we'll be able to achieve the desired result. So, those who are intelligent, truly intelligent, those who are fortunate, they will be understanding, they will be able to understand the real purpose of studying the Vedic literatures, real purpose of life. And then, so by the mercy of the Lord, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, the spiritual master, then one may become successful in one's endeavor. So simply by our own endeavor it is not possible to attain perfection. But we need the mercy of the Lord, we need the mercy of the representative of the Lord, the spiritual master or the Vaishnavas. And then we may become successful in our endeavors. Any question? Hare Krishna. No question? Everything is clear. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna. And take some prasad. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki. Krishna Chandra Bhagavana ki. Sachinandana Gaura Hari ki.